Ein Volk, ein Reich, ein Farage. I think that's what they said.
English?
Well, if I was to say to you that what they used to say in Nazi Germany was Ein Volk, ein Reich, ein Führer, if you can then perhaps see where I'm going with this. To be fair, Stu, we've had an issue on the right wing all season. We've spent £30 million on it all season. Okay. We've then had to go back to a £50,000 winger back in the day who's only just recovering from a cruise ship. Okay. So it's nice of us. It's nice that we have for the run-in. We've taken steps to really add to our right wing and really strengthen a problem position for us. No, it's Nigel Farage. Apparently, we are now only getting transported to away games via train. Not many of them have seats, though, unfortunately. So we did try and go via coach driver, but every time we got to the roundabout, it would always turn off at a roundabout at the Third Reich. That's not good in of itself. Him using Ipswich as Ipswich Town as a political grandstanding. That's not good. But that's fine. Let's say fine. It's not that big of a thing. Not the worst thing that could have happened. Well, the worst thing that could have happened is the club actually lying about how it came to be, which is exactly what's happened. They put out a statement on Monday or I think it was Tuesday. They put out a statement, one of the days, and they said nobody told us reform would come. It was nothing told. There was no booking under Farage or Reform's name. It was all a private tour. We didn't know until he got here, and all of the shirts that were there with Farage 10. They weren't gifted, they were bought. And then that rather quickly got
green light. Go.
Rather quickly got disproved. There was quite a lot of people who were who sort of blew the whistle on that one. And so as it turns out, the club lied about how that visit came to be and how that political campaigning came to be, which is not a very good thing to do if you're a football club. It's not a very good thing to go and lie. Yep, there's one of those. There's also him in the dressing room with his of all the places, right? Of all the players they could have put him. They could have had him sat in front of, right, or on like, of all the players, they could have perched him in the dressing room, like where their peg is and everything, and where they are in the dressing room in their spot. It was a fucking Albanian international, wasn't it? Which, given what his comments were about Albanians, it is a little bit thick. That's exactly what's happened. Yes, I don't mind. I do mind. I don't want politicians coming to the football club and parading around, unless it's an important Secretary of State / the Prime Minister, I mean, as much as I don't like any of the people in power, it makes sense. Let's be adults here, right? Or either of the two MPs who are elected to represent Ipswich in Parliament, right? Now, what I don't think is a good idea is for political leaders of any sort, and that could be Polanski, there could be Lowe, Farage, Starmer, Corbyn, Badenoch, you fucking name it. It's not a good idea for your football club to be front and centre of their political campaign, because you just don't, whoever it is, all you're opening yourself up to is a lot of division and anger, because the people that have got a boner over Farage actually coming to the club would be fucking angry if it was Polanski or Starmer, etc. And the same people who are angry that it's Farage, or would have been angry if it was Lowe, would have a massive hard-on if it was Polanski. So neither, in no way at all, is it good. And my big problem, because I don't like that, but I don't like, someone being front and centre and having all the fucking publicity, photos and videos, etc. I don't like it, but it's not the end of the world. It's when a club actually decides to lie about it. That's where I have the problem. Like, if you're gonna fuck up, then sort of be big enough to hold your hands up and say, yeah, we fucked up a bit here. Like, I don't mind a fuck up. That happens, but oh no, he didn't just turn up. He was invited. That's what the club lied about. He was invited along rather than just turned up. And that's where I have the problem. The club invited him for a dinner with the chairman and his chief operating officer. And yeah, that's not good. It's not good. I mean, I don't mind that. Again, I don't like it, but I don't. I can get over that happily. It's the whole line about it and trying to cover it up, and then it being disproved not long after. Like, you're just opening yourself up for ridicule, and you look incredibly non-linked. Oh well, never mind. Could be worse. Oh, Ricard tonight. Yeah. Luckily, the next match for us is 3 days later than everyone else, because we were supposed to be playing Southampton on Good Friday. We are instead not playing them because they got through to the FA Cup, and the FA Cup, the next round of the FA Cup was on Easter weekend, because fuck the EFL clubs. So the next game that we've got is on Easter Monday, and it's at home to Birmingham City. It's just another Tuesday night, isn't it? Yeah, I don't like it. But yeah. Oh, great. Oh, lovely. No, don't call it pointless. There might be some Nations League fixtures on. One thing I don't mind is that I think there's like a 3-week break. So rather than having two 2-week breaks in the autumn, there's like a 3-week break in the autumn, and I don't dislike that. I actually think that's actually quite a smart idea, because you still, you don't break up the schedule as much. But it's just one bigger break, and it means that you can do two non-league games in successive weekends if you fancy it. Like I probably will end up doing. Yeah, Well, at least it can't all be lost, I guess. Right, or let's say that, let me rephrase. It's not going to be sort of lost twice. Ooh, right, time for me to qualify.
Low tire pressure. Stay clear of the curbs.
Yeah. Schwitzer. I'll be honest, my FRL is very much limited to Tuesdays, I think. Best person to ask is the man that's just joined the chat. Hello? Yeah. Yeah, not too bad on you? Of course it is. You needed me all on my own.
Pressure. Stay away from curbs.
Hey, you're not supposed to be qualifying, you fuckwit. Right, you are out of your own time, dickhead. You're doing it before anyway. Means I'm a little team, but I'm short and stout. What, are they playing it out of road? Mate, you're not supposed to be qualifying, you fucking dribbly. Right, just learn what a clock is. Unless you really are that slow, it takes you 3 minutes to lap that Ricard.
Yellow flag. Be careful there.
I don't think there's much in the way of joined up thinking, to be honest. Yeah, but we're not in real life, we're in FRL.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
What's the what track is it? Won't quite be that because GT2s are good on straights and on corners.
Yellow flag, watch out in front.
Of course they have. You've got to admire some people, haven't you? That's a bit too much for some.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
Very much in danger of not getting a lap lead here.
Yellow flag, watch out in front.
Halfway between one age and another age.
Yellow flag in sector 3.
There is, it has no ABS or T3. This is quite funny. Yeah, it's a fast Maserati.
Yellow flag, watch out in front.
It's been a scruffy lap, but at least I'm going to get that in. I've gone second, and I have no idea how that's happened. Fucking awful. Turns out, just how much better than me. Right, let's go get this strategy sorted. think that's what's worth it. Adam, you will be you will be pleased to know that I'm starting on the far right hand side of the grid. Well, yeah, particularly with obviously recent events, the far right hand side of the grid for me is very good. Don't be doing this. No, and it was even what the even dumber thing to do was to lie about it and lie about how it came about. That was spectacular. We're back to the banter era of Ipswich Town, and I'm here for it.
Going single file.
You know, it was fun to be away from the banter era. Don't get me wrong, but fun to be away from the banner room. It's good to be back. Got a 40-degree track at Ricard. That's what you've missed out on, Adam. That's what you missed out on, Adam. You missed out on 40 a red hot surface, or an almost red hot surface at Ricard multi-class. Everyone there, or is it everyone quiet? I think it's gone. I think she doesn't like talking to me anymore. Fair enough. He will fall apart again, which is true for the club he supports. To be fair, that is somewhat of a running joke because for about 6 months, about 6 weeks, 18 months ago, he'd get himself into a really good position and then something would go wrong again. Like would go wrong for him. So the running joke was, you know, that he's fallen apart again. We used to sit. It was like, do we need to get the song out? And they would all sing it. Here's one thing that was really weird. When I was at Hillsborough a couple of weekends ago, they were all singing "We All Hate Leeds Scum." I was thinking, number one, none of us are playing Leeds. And number two, your rival is Sheffield United, mate. Oh, hey, I'll go for it. Yeah, I don't really get the only reason we sang it in the same year that we you know, when we were last in the championship together, is just because we were going up against you lot for promotion. And not all of you, but some of you fans on the internet were getting a bit sort of, you know. So it was a fairly easy way of winding a few people up. But we genuinely haven't sung about you since. Why is it being sung at darts? Been a bit braver through one. GT3s and GT4s mixing at the back where some people haven't qualified, and of course the predictable result has happened. You just knew that was going to happen. Made him get very loose at the end of the bistro. I like that one, thank you. Scared him into getting loose at the end of a straight. I didn't even have to work hard for that one. Just drafted up to the back of him. And I sort of shoe a nose. I pulled back in and he still went too fast through the corner and got himself loose. So I'll take that. He'll be back and annoyed. To fuck off down the road now. So I'm going to start that. I'm completely missing the apex at turn 1. Lovely work. Good start of it. Behind me. not what you want at the start of a 70-minute race at Paul Ricard. Controller went with it, boggy through turn 2, and then just stopped turning right. And then the second one was at the end of the bistro. I'll be honest, I didn't even think it was straight. Certainly didn't feel wide enough. taking someone 10 minutes to get a drive through for track limits. We're nowhere near that apex. It's quite impressive to get a drive through that early. You've got to go somewhere. I don't think it's going to be close enough. I am very wrong. Glaswegian track on there. Yes, I did hear that. He's busy, he's leaving. Alright. Oh, but a bit too adventurous with the curve at turn 2. Oh, it's fine. It's the outside curve at turn 2 only then. It's a problem. Just again when I know he's longing. He's longing for his next trip to the A9 branch of the Liquid Shop. I don't even know why that became a thing in our party, but it did. He has. There's an old running joke that, you know, I know he's got children, isn't he? He splits okay at the time or whatever. So I once said a couple of years ago that, you know, he's just longing for a return to the A9 branch of the Liquid Shop. I don't even know why, and it just became a thing. Apart from anything else, I just noticed the A9 isn't far away from Glasgow. It goes up towards, I believe it goes up towards the Highlands. Apart from the M25, I would imagine. 62. 6. Where we are in the country, you have to kind of know where you're going if you fancy doing an away day. For us, it's possibly up the A1, possibly up the M1. If you're lucky, a bit of both. Might be down the A12 and the M25, might not be. Could be fucking anywhere. Or if you're really lucky, stick to the A14 and then wait until that turns into the M6 and then go up the road. Yeah. crashing because I stayed in control of my vehicle and rejoined in front of you, but safely. Change the tyres here. I've done a few in London. Charlton, QPR, Wimbledon. I haven't been as an away fan to Leyton Orient, but I have watched the game there. You can tell why I'm playing. I've done Fulham. And I've done Spurs. We won at Spurs. Yeah, I don't like it. It's a nice ground, right? It's a great facility, but it just doesn't feel like a football stadium. When I go to a football stadium, I want it to feel like I'm not welcome there if I'm an away fan. Do you know what I mean? Four sides on the stadium, four separate stands as well. It's just better. Noise stays in a lot better as well. Yeah, it gets a bit touristy as well. Yeah, it's like, to be fair, I mean, it's touristy, and it's like, as well, they just expect to win, and so it's like it's almost like there's no need to back the team and get behind it, which I hate. I mean, that's just the furthest thing away from me in particular that I think of. I don't know, I do feel... I like the fact that football is trying to appeal to more people, but I don't like the fact that it feels a bit gentrified. That's not good. That never has been good for football. what football clubs, particularly higher up the pyramids, are in danger of doing, like, you're in danger of losing your next core fan base. If you start losing your next core fan base, you lose your identity at the club, or you start to lose your identity, and once that starts to happen, you are in a world of shit. Like bad. That's not good.
Listen,
Callagher. See, he's at a club. This man is at a club that is probably the poster child for that soon. I start pricing secretly. Manchester is quite a working class city. You start pricing out your fans, your core fan base from the area. Then. You'll soon start to lose yourself as a club. I mean, not every fan buys merchandise though. For me and the mate on Good Friday if Charlton decide to do that, because that's where we're headed. Yeah, Town aren't playing them. Town aren't playing them until later on in April. But on Good Friday, Ipswich aren't playing anywhere because it should have been Southampton. But yeah, so we're gonna go to Charlton because it's only an hour on the train. So we'll go there and watch a game of football. We did the same when Town were playing on a Saturday back in September. Because we played against Sheffield United on a Friday night, so we went to watch Leighton Orient. Because that's also just down the track. Here, what are you doing, Luke? Where are you going? It's one thing I hate about Ricard. We didn't really any proper marker. He's on mute. I think he's muted just whilst he's doing some qualifying, to be fair. Comes in there. So tricky to get up to temperature at Ricard. So away, they feel horrible. Luckily I have a bid to have brought myself out into a 12-second gap with GT4 and then another 12 seconds up the road for GT3. like a bat for me if he was in any way more aggressive going into the pit lane. He's got me. You two still have to wait another 3 weeks, or another 2.5 weeks before you lot play. Yeah, something for Monday night, isn't it? That's a TV game, isn't it? They're ever going to sound us out, was it? good for you, to be fair. To be fair, what he gave a penalty away for was less of a penalty than what wasn't given as one at the other end before Bournemouth scored their first equaliser. Maguire's red card was correct. Just like the penalty, yeah, it's a red. You know, as soon as you give it, yeah, as soon as you give, yeah. But what wasn't given before the first equalised, bad to me. It was Atwell and I think Craig Pawson was the VAR, which probably tells you everything. The only way that could have been worse is if Paul Tierney was the referee, and if Sam Allison was involved in any way. It's fucking awful. Show some ball then and actually do your job properly rather than just hope. We got 2 apologies for one game at Leicester, home to Leicester. Right, and you're going to love this. We then got an apology 2 days later because of what happened with Stoke. The cunt had fucking in a clear view of everything. The one that you didn't get against Sunderland was pathetic. But the penalty that they got is a fair penalty. How on earth you didn't have one given before that though when someone was literally head on the ground? I don't know. What's the crack here, fella? Hey, make a fucking decision as to where you're going, you fucking idiot. Why are you weaving? You weave on the shortest straight in the circuit you can think of, you fucking donkey. Whoa, you. Jesus. There's a lot of clean windows in that boathouse. I don't think I have a license, it's just not talking to us anymore. Really into that body. Is it really into that social media? Has it? Oh, it's really. Yeah, I must. Someone placed down the entrance. Seriously, you could give him £1 million and he'd know where's the other £500,000. He is a proper. What's he done to him? Well, he went over the handlebars.
Car on the right. Clear on the right.
Really bad. Just, I mean, the fucking roads everywhere here are just so bad. They really are. Solve it. Some of them are like fucking motocross jumps here. Like, they are. The thing is, well, they'll just patch up a couple of them, and then right when they've actually put the fix in, there'll be another one that comes back. It's almost as if it's just begging you to resurface the whole bloody road. Going through a commission and decide what colour to make the flag this
Clear on the right.
Yeah. More, is there? seconds. I caught some GT4s at the worst point possible. You know at Ricard where you slow down for turn 3 and 4, then you've got the tight right at 5 and 6 and 7 to bring you back onto the straight. Well, that's where I caught them. Caught them at turn the slow right, so I couldn't really get past them either because there were two of them too close together to battle. But I don't really need to mess this battle up for them either, so I had to wait until I got onto the straight, which is fine. I don't mind doing it, but you know, it is somewhat, just a tick by straight. The only crumb of comfort I've got is that the leader in the second place is about to catch a load of them in the final corner.
On the left. Clear on the left.
Just lost another second though, final corner myself, with 2 more GT4s. Coming out of the pit lane as well, compromising through turn 1. It's not been a good lap. Not been a good lap and a half. It's been somewhat. themselves car number 1, isn't it? I don't know why. Like, you quite clearly fancy yourself, don't you, fella? Yeah, unless it's Vermeulen. Unless it's Vermeulen. Vermeulen's number 1. I mean, you know. Devastated if he had to give that up on time. Got wide at the Leclerc corner, made a mess of it. There's half a second easily. taken completely by surprise, but it still wasn't great. A great piece of driving. iRacing? Is he good? The only thing that put me off when Adam was talking about it the other week is that the costs can be a bit prohibitive. But then if it's good, you've got decent stamina, I guess is the trade-off, isn't it? But I mean, to be fair, the thing that would attract me to iRacing would be the oval side. I'm sure it's fairly common knowledge. I quite like that. Quite like oval racing. I don't have a thought. Yeah. I'm putting way too much fuel, but I'd rather have a lot too much fuel than a little too little. I'm taking my wife to a West End show tomorrow, so I'm quite looking forward to. Is Mamma Mia?
No time pressure. Stay clear of the curbs.
Never ever been to the West End before. Good? Liking? Remember coming out of there thinking, yeah, it was alright that, but not why. Just can't remember why it was alright. Me too. I can tell you exactly how wet I got at Stetson one year. I think it was 2018. This was when, I don't know if you remember, we had the Beast from the East in March, which then gave way to about 3 months without seeing rain. Well, definitely down here in East Anglia anyway. We didn't see rain from the 1st of April to right near the end of June, July. No, it was June. 1st of July rolled around when me and my brother were stood at Stetson, possibly the least coverage in the world, apart from excellent. And it absolutely fucking pissed it down about the first, for the entire morning. Like, the track was almost flooded at points. Like, we were watching Jeanettas come out of the final corner of Stet, and they were just skating. It was just pot luck as to whether they made it out or not. Not the mini Belia, the sort of, oh yeah, the buttons. there was a starlight crash in the BTCC, which ended up sending a car onto the frame where the camera was, where the cameraman was stood. Hunter Rabbit, I believe, is the man who, I believe it was Hunter Rabbit's car that got fired up there. Hunter Rabbit's Audi. XC90, what, as in the big 4x4? No, the V70, or V70R. Yeah, well, you've been racing a super touring car around there as well. Oh yeah. That's good. That has got to be some good fun. Like, I like some pretty road cars because they were in super touring. So Alpha 155 V6, the V6 Ti version. I want one of those when I win the lottery because it's a super touring icon. I want the V70R because that is an icon of super touring as well. I want one. You say that? That was what my mum had two of those. Had two Renault Lagunas. That's what I got brought up in. Renault Laguna with a Mazda 6. So thinking of, you know, when you look at what parents have got to choose with now, and the sort of cars they've kind of got to choose, they've all got to be SUVs. I think our generation had it the best. It was the sort of last of the good ones. Bottle Cavalier, Ford Mondeo. Audi A4s were about. I had that. The old Honda Accord. Yeah. Again, another stalwart super touring. Peugeot 206 as well. Back at a point when Peugeots were making really good cars. Hello. Enjoyed it. Quite funny if the GT4 session was right, the GT2 session was pissing that right. Then you'd be starting in and amongst the GT4s. Production car challenge by any chance? that's what you watch out for. Naughty, Rudy. Naughty down is the best way to describe Mark Ashton's statement on Tuesday. That was very naughty. What a player. What a footballer. Gracing the English game with his presence at Dagenham and Redbridge. You did hear, right, but you did gain knowledge of Naughty, so you've won. It's just nuts, isn't it? It's just nuts that that's his full name is Me Naughty. So the first two syllables of his name sound like an ambulance, and then the rest of it is just Naughty, like you're telling off a child. Fantastic, mate. Always used to bring a smile to Jeff Stelling as well when he was saying it on top of Saturday. Is it the right left right version or is it the right hander? Struggling to keep an Aston Martin on the circuit. A GT3 Aston Martin on the circuit at Ricard. Like, it's fairly fucking easy. The scary thing is you're gaining back on me down the straight. Oh no! weirdly, unload damage.
Car on the left.
Right, you're a lap down. Why are you overtaking me only for me to then want to overtake you again? You've just let me through
Clear on the left.
after overtaking. Are you lingering?
Yellow flag in sector 3.
The surname Hess in operating something in southern France. He's operating German machinery in southern France. That's not necessarily, you know, if you look back at history, that isn't really the best recipe for success. In his way. With 2 laps to go.
Car on the left. Clear on the left.
I've got a drive-through. I'm not taking. I've got a drive-through for track limits because I locked my rears going, and it's just giving me an immediate drive-through, and I've lost like a second. So yeah, I'm not 5 seconds, and we're on the final lap. I just locked up. I was bailing. I was bailing from it, and I was just going to come. What the plan was to come to a stop. I'll come to a stop and get going again. But final track warning because I got 2 on lap 2 because my controller went janky, and I've just hit someone and spun them, and because I so much breathed near the outside of the track, he came up with a track limit. So, mate, when you fucking pick where you're gonna go, you stupid prick. Oh, gentlemen. Gentlemen. Oh.
Stop.
The chairman has come out with a message.
And that upsets me immensely. That.
Huh?
The feeling and the anger that supporters are feeling.
Hang on a minute.
I'm fully aware that this has been a very difficult week for all of us. The staff are hurting, elements of the fan base are hurting, and so are elements of our local community. And that upsets me immensely. And for that, unreservedly, I want to apologise and say I'm sorry.
Can you understand that strength of feeling and the anger that supporters are feeling?
Yes, I understand that supporters and elements of the community are angry. I also understand that there are a number
That's the chairman.
mistruths out there on what's happening. I also understand that we have
Yep, I've got no idea what.
Because mistakes have been made, which have caused distress.
See what he's got to say.
Our local community. And as the chairman of the club, I take full responsibility for those mistakes and full responsibility for making sure that those lessons are learned and learned quickly.
How do we do that? How do we learn those lessons?
I think a prime example is the board. Full board of directors are now.
Pardon? I didn't know she said something. To be fair, I was, you know,